Hello. We have already discussed the different types of sentences. In this video, we will examine an interesting feature which is used during the construction or formation of sentences. This feature is called question tag. Now, what are question tags? Question tags are very small or minute questions which are tagged or attached at the end of sentences. Very often, after making a statement, we feel like asking the question, is that right? Or, do you agree? Instead of doing that, we can make use of question tags. The objective of using these tags is therefore, firstly, to verify the statement made in the sentence. Because we are saying something, we are declaring something. So when we say something, we want to verify it. Or we want to find out if the person being spoken to agrees with the speaker. So when you make a statement to someone, you want to know whether that person agrees with you or not. Now, how is this done? This is done by turning the statement into a question. Now, when you ask a question, there has to be an answer. Now, the answer can be yes or no. Because that person is not expecting a big reply or a big answer. Just wants to know whether you agree or you disagree. So the answer can be either yes or no. Or it can be the reverse of the question tag in positive or negative form as the case may be. You will understand this when we take up an example. It is very warm today, isn't it? Now, which is the statement here? The statement is, it is very warm today. Now, to get the confirmation from the person being addressed, the speaker adds the question tag. And what's the question tag? Isn't it? Now, the response of the listener can be either yes, if he wants to give a positive reply, or no, if he wants to give a negative reply. Or, in this case, it can be a reversal of the question tag. Now, what is the question tag? Isn't it? So, you read it backwards. Either you say it isn't, or you can make it positive, it is. So, that is why it is called reverse of the question tag. So, the person who is being addressed has a choice. He either says yes or no, or he reverses the question tag. Second example. He shouldn't work so hard, should he? Now, what is the main statement here? He shouldn't work so hard. And the question tag is should he? Now, the question deserves an answer. So, what is the answer? Answer can be either yes or no, or you can reverse the question tag. That means he should or he shouldn't, depending on what is the answer that the listener wants to give. Now, there are certain points to be kept in mind while using question tags. So, there are certain rules. Let us see the rules. The first rule is, if the main statement is affirmative or it is positive, the question tag must be negative. That means it must be the opposite. Look at this example. You are coming to the party, aren't you? Now, are is positive. You are coming to the party. So, the question tag has to be negative, aren't you? So, this is the first rule. Second rule is, if the main statement is affirmative or it is positive, the question tag must be negative. That means it must be the opposite. Look at this example. You are coming to the party, aren't you? Now, are is positive. You are coming to the party. So, the question tag has to be negative, aren't you? So, this is the first rule. See the second part of this. If the main statement is negative, the question tag must be positive. That means it must be the opposite. So the same sentence, we have just changed it. You aren't coming to the party. So the question tag has to be now, are you? In the first case, it was you are coming. So the question tag was aren't you? In the second case, the statement says you aren't coming to the party. So the question tag becomes positive, are you? The second rule, the tense used in the statement and the question tag must be the same. So that whatever tense has been used in the statement and the question tag, they must be the same. Look at this sentence. Betty was present in class, wasn't she? Now what is the tense here? Betty was. Was is past tense. So when we take the question tag, it also has to be in the past tense. So it is wasn't she. Was is positive, wasn't is negative. But was remains was. I mean the tense remains the same. The sky is blue, isn't it? Now the sky is blue is present tense. So even in the question tag we have to use the present tense. That is why it is isn't it. So this is the second rule. The third rule is the question tag always ends with a pronoun. You must have noticed this. They can't swim, can they? So either we say can they, can she, can he. Always there is a pronoun at the end of the tag. Saroj is a talented girl, isn't she? She is again a pronoun. So this is another rule of the question tag. Now if you take the sentence, Saroj is a talented girl, isn't she? I'll just revise all the three rules that we have just now discussed. First thing is that one is that the tense has to be the same. So Saroj is present tense. Isn't she? Again the tense is present. If the first part is positive, the question tag has to be negative. So Saroj is a talented girl is a positive statement and the question tag isn't she is a negative statement. There is a pronoun at the end of the tag, isn't she? She is a pronoun. That pronoun has to match with the subject. So Saroj is a girl, so it has to be she at the end. And the question tag has to end with a question mark. Now, this was question tag in the case of declarative sentences. Now let us see the use of question tags with imperative sentences. Question tags are used in imperative sentences to soften or tone down the instructions or orders and turn them into requests. So the idea here in the case of imperative sentence is not to ask a question really or to see whether that person agrees or disagrees. It is just to make the order seem more polite. So there is no answer expected in this case. A sentence does not require an answer as the question tag is only for politeness. Pass the fruit, will you? Now actually this is an imperative sentence. So the speaker is asking someone to do something. In this case, he is asking the person to pass the fruit. And that's all that the person has to do. But just to be polite, the speaker adds the question tag, will you? Now no answer is expected. The person who is being addressed has to just pass the fruit. Switch on the fan, will you? Now in this case also, the instruction is to switch on the fan. But instead of making it a curt sentence, we just add, will you? to make it more polite. Now that you are familiar with the use of question tags, take a quick test on TeachYaar.com to revise what you have learned. To take the test, scan the QR code with your mobile device or click on the link given below the video. Subscribe to the TeachYaar YouTube channel for notifications.